The NFL season is coming to a close, and the race for the MVP award is a race between the league-leading quarterbacks. It is rare in today's NFL that we see a non-QB have a big enough impact to steal the award away from one of the passers. And one of those quarterbacks is Josh Allan. He came into the season with the most hype, but has he done enough to be crowned the MVP? Is Josh Allan still in the MVP race? If you have watched the Buffalo Bills over the last several seasons, then it is quite clear what importance Josh Allan has for the team. He is the heartbeat of their offensive attack. The team is only as efficient as he is from down to down. As Josh Allan goes, so the Buffalo Bills go. This has shown itself to be especially true during this current NFL season. He began the season red hot, and the Bills looked like the team to beat in not only their own conference of the AFC, but the entire NFL. They were the darlings of the analysts and pundits, and even the betting world. However, things did slow down a bit in the middle of the season. Everyone knows that the NFL is grueling, and staying on top is not as easy as simply showing up. So it isn't a huge surprise that Josh Allan had some slumps throughout the year. But in Week 15 against the Miami Dolphins, Josh Allan made it known that his name should still be in MVP talks. Did Josh Allan's performance against the Dolphins make him the MVP? It is always a little more complicated than that. After all, the NFL season isn't 1 week long, and we cannot pick and choose the performances we liked to back up our argument for who should be the MVP of the league. Josh Allan has been back to his usual self during the Bills' 5-game winning streak, and the timing was exactly what the team needed, as pundits and the talking heads began to speak of doubts around the team and their potential moving forward. Over the 5 games, Josh Allan completed 105 of 169 pass attempts, which is roughly 63%. He also threw for 10 touchdowns during the span, and only 1 interception. This bodes well, because in today's game, quarterbacks are asked to throw a lot of passes, so interceptions seem to tick up. He did turn the ball over 4 times, though signs still trend toward him improving upon his turnovers from earlier in the season. It wasn't just the numbers in the Bills' win over the Dolphins that reminded people he is still an MVP caliber player. It was also the plays he made. He shows sparks of superhuman ability on the field, and during the game against Miami, we were reminded of his insane talent, like he showed in the 2021 playoff run. He threw 4 touchdowns and had a QB rating of nearly 120. He was sensational. What about Josh Allan's competition for MVP? Josh Allan's performance in Week 15 brought attention to his abilities. His name was among the few spoken of in terms of MVP caliber. It also helped that MVP frontrunner Jalen Hurts was injured, so he couldn't continue to dominate. Hurts' absence can be a counter, however, since without his excellent play, the Eagles are not nearly as dangerous an opponent. Good news for Eagles fans. It appears as though Hurts avoided a serious injury like originally thought. Shoulder injuries for quarterbacks are scary, and even worse when the quarterback is your best player and team leader. Still, with Hurts out, it gives the other quarterbacks in the MVP conversation time to shine and let the voting committee for MVP know they are here. This is mainly because the chatter seems to indicate that the MVP award is Jalen Hurts to lose. What names are in the mix? Now that the season has come to a close, there are the definite heroes who have shown they are the leaders of their teams. We are used to seeing the names like Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers head the list of names for MVP once the last game has been played, but not anymore. There is a new crop of heroes taking charge. There are 4 distinct names in the conversation, some new blood, and one who has won it before already, who also happens to be the best football player on earth. The 4 finalists for NFL MVP are Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Josh Allan, and Jalen Hurts. Each one of these young men is a phenomenal talent, from Super Bowl appearances to late-game heroics. Patrick Mahomes has won an MVP already. Patrick Mahomes is considered to be the best player in the league. His approach to the game and natural talent make him an almost flawless quarterback. He won the MVP award in his second season in the NFL, the first year he was named starter for the Kansas City Chiefs. His name has been on the top of MVP lists each season. The Chiefs are 14-3 this season with Mahomes as their leader. They enter the postseason tied with the Philadelphia Eagles for the best record in the National Football League. They are the top seed in the AFC, and they were crowned AFC West champs for the 7th straight year. Mahomes wrapped up the regular season with a league-leading 41 touchdowns and only 12 interceptions. He also threw for 5,250 passing yards. The talking heads and critics spent most of the season trying to downplay Mahomes' excellent play, but his consistency and his team's winning forced everyone to reevaluate the MVP conversation. Mahomes is leading the way for MVP in many people's minds. Joe Cool, aka Joe Burrow. Last season, Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals shocked the world by defeating the Chiefs in Kansas City in the AFC Championship game. They went on to lose to the Los Angeles Rams in the Super Bowl, but the playoff performance solidified Joe Burrow as one of the best QBs in the NFL and a constant threat for the MVP award. Heading into the playoffs this season, the Bengals are the hottest team in the NFL. They've won 8 consecutive contests and have a final record of 12 wins and 4 losses. They have been crowned champions of the AFC North for the 2nd consecutive season in a tough division including the Ravens, the Steelers, and even the Cleveland Browns, who made the playoffs the season before last. At the end of the day, Joe Burrow finished with 4,750 yards passing, 35 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. Mahomes' numbers are a little stronger, but not by a whole lot. And we have to take into consideration that Burrow's favorite target, Jamar Chase, missed a large chunk of the season with an injury. Jalen Hurts came out of nowhere to defy expectations. Hurts missed 2 important games at the end of the season with a shoulder injury. Everyone thought it might have spelled doom for the Eagles, but his recovery has proven to the league that Hurts is a serious competitor. He won't let an injury slow him down in his quest to bring a Super Bowl to Philadelphia. Missing the 2 games is a double-edged sword in Hurts' pursuit of the MVP, as it showed how badly his team needs him to compete, but of course also allowed the other possible MVPs to show their stuff and make their cases for the award. He played in the final game of the season, where the Eagles defeated the New York Giants and clinched the #1 seed in the NFC. Missing those couple of games likely put him out of the running, especially with Mahomes being so consistent and missing no time in that stretch. But before his injury, Hurts was putting on a showcase. Jalen Hurts finished with 22 touchdowns in the air, 3,701 passing yards, and only 6 interceptions. Yeah, these numbers are much lower than Mahomes and Burrow, but it is the intangibles that make Hurts so dangerous. He has an ability to scramble and discombobulate defenses with his legs. It makes him very dangerous and is why the Eagles are the #1 contender in the NFC. What is Josh Allen's case for the MVP? First, the bad news. Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs clinching the #1 spot in the AFC hurts Josh Allen's chances of winning the MVP award. Dominance plays a huge role in labeling the best, especially when the competing resumes are so comparable. Allen was favored to win the award entering the season, but this is the NFL, and a lot changes over the course of a year. Football is a grueling sport. However, Allen looked like the MVP early in the season. The Buffalo Bills got off to a blazing start to the season and looked like they were the top of the league and the team to beat. But the reality came crashing in, and the Bills showed how human they really are with mid-season struggles. This also played against Allen and his chances. Was it too little too late that the Bills ripped off a 6-game winning streak at the end of the year and concluded concluded with a dominant taking of their division. The Bills clinched the AFC East with Allan's 35 touchdowns and 4,250 passing yards. He also threw 14 picks. And the winner will be, all signs point toward Patrick Mahomes winning his second MVP trophy. He has had the best season of all the good quarterbacks. It can be argued, but facts are facts. Mahomes has been the most consistent at the position, leading the best offense in the sport to an AFC winning record. His style of play is something no other player at the position can duplicate. His team scored at a rate that the league just couldn't keep up with. When all was said and done, the only team averaging more points per game were the Detroit Lions. Mahomes threw for an average of 8 yards per game and made all the plays only he can. His team has a bye week to start the playoffs, and until otherwise, the Chief and Mahomes are the team to beat in the AFC. Thanks for tuning in. Leave a comment with your thoughts on who should win the MVP this season. We'll be back soon with more content to entertain you, but in the meantime, please hit the like and subscribe buttons and show us some love. We will see you soon. Take care.